All right, so I've got this question about 2 or 3 times. Particularly is this one I got on my Facebook Messenger. Someone's asked if it's okay for him to move to the UK on a visitor's visa and then switch to work visa. The previous question I got was this: if it's all right to move to the UK on a standard visitor's visa, which is 6 months visa, and then disappears, go get experience from the care home because she could not get this practical experience from any that we Africans who don't usually run care homes in Africa. So she wants to come into the UK as a visitor, then look for a care home where to get this experience and then start working, as a carer. So me, I was really surprised getting all these questions. And basically, this is the questions I shall be answering today, coming into the UK as a visitor, what you can do and what you cannot do. Will you be able to switch from a visitor's visa to a work visa in the UK? So these are the questions I shall be answering in this very video, making references to the stipulations on the government website as regards to standard visitors visa in the UK. Alright guys, my name is Chinyere Ojike. You are absolutely welcome to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button. It is important to me so that YouTube can recommend this video to others who it might be helpful to. Thank you once again. All right, let's go on with it. Now let's look at this in realistic terms. If you are looking to work in the UK, there are certain requirements you are expected to meet, before an employer can actually employ you. For instance, you need an address. Where do you stay? A visitor might be lodging in a hotel, or you are staying in someone's house, your brother's or your cousin's, your relative home. Yes. And you're required to present a proof of address. A proof of address is either a document that has your name on it, maybe a utility bill that you're paying in the UK that has your name, the rent, and if you are squatting or staying in your brother's relative's home, I don't think you are paying rent. Therefore, you do not have nothing to show for a proof of address. You need a UK phone contact, of which you might have a SIM card on arrival, but that is not enough evidence. And secondly, you need what is called a DBS check. They need to carry out a DBS check from your previous address, 3 years previous address history. This is something you need to provide to show where you have been living. Though you can provide an address that suggests that you've been living in a different country and then you move to the UK, but then you still need to provide a UK address. You would provide your relative address where you are staying in the UK, but your name is not in the rent. Your name is not in any of the utility bill. I wonder how this would work as a visitor in the UK. Let's go on. Thirdly, you also have to provide the right to work and live in the UK, which is your BRP, national insurance number, of which I don't think national insurance number is issued to a visitor. Yes, you only have a national insurance number when you are here on a work visa as a dependent to someone who has a skilled workers visa or a student doing masters, doing a degree, PhD in this country. This is when they will issue national insurance number to you, and you are expected to have this. Number 4, you are required to have a bank account, because if eventually you find a job in the UK, your employer will be paying you through a bank account. And on a visitor's visa, I think it is a big stretch, for a bank to open a bank account for a visitor here, but I think there is an online account they can open, but it's something that is a bit tricky because you also need a proof of address showing your address, showing your name on the address where you are staying before a bank can open an account for you. You need to present some certain utility bills as well, proof of address, for a bank to open an account for you. If you are working, you need to provide your employer's address. Those of you who come in here on skilled workers visa could attest to this. They require you to present your employment letter before they can open a bank account for you, including your BRP or your NI. So these are a bit tricky for you to start working here as a visitor. But let's keep going on and see how possible a visitor should be able to work in the UK. To be more honest about this, when you move into the UK, every of the UK's visa has a letter attached to it. Especially on the day you go for your BRP, the collection, there is a letter attached to your visa. And in that letter, not everyone reads that letter, but we took our time to read the detailed content of that letter. In that letter contains what you are expected to do on the very visa that brought you to UK, work visa, study visa, visitors visa. The details of what you can and what you cannot do are listed in that very letter. So take your time to read these things if you're coming into the UK on a visitor's visa, on whichever visa. Now, we're going to be exploring the government websites to see what a visitor can do and what a visitor cannot do on a visitor's visa in the UK. According to the UK government website, you can actually visit the UK for 30 days to see your family, for tourism, for example, holiday or vacation. To volunteer to work for 30 days with a registered charity, to pass through the UK to another country on a transit, to also take part in exchange program, to do a recreational course of up to 30 days, for example, dance course, or to do a placement or for medical reasons. These are the things you can do on a visitor's visa while in the UK. In the other hand, what can you not do on a visitor's visa in the UK? Let's still go on to the government websites and see for ourselves. Now, looking at what you cannot do in the UK on a visitor's visa, you cannot do any paid or unpaid work for a UK company as a self-employed person. You cannot claim public funds. You cannot live in the UK for a long period of time through frequent or successive visits. You cannot marry or register a civil partnership or give notice of marriage or civil partnership. Yes, so these are some of the things you cannot do. Not even somebody who is self-employed in the UK cannot give you a job to do. Yes, because you taking up a job, even the care home that is allowing you to come do, work experience, placements, voluntary work in their care home, they are at risk of losing their license for employing someone who do not have rights to work and live in the UK to come do such voluntary work in their care home. So these are the things you cannot do. Let's also consider if you are able to switch from this visitor's visa to a different kind of visa in the UK when you are already here on a visitor's visa. Can you switch your visa to a work visa or to any other kind of visa? All right, so looking at the UK website, it is clearly stated that you might be able to switch to a skilled worker visa if you are already in the UK on a different type of visa. And here are certain eligibilities you have to meet for you to be able to switch your visa. One, you can speak, read, write, and understand English before you should be able to, switch your visa to a work visa in this country. And secondly, who is not allowed to switch their visa to a work visa? Let's consider what is stated on the UK government website. Who cannot apply to switch to this visa if you are currently in the UK, possibly as a visitor? Number one, on a visit visa. If you are here on a visit visa, you cannot switch to a work visa. So being in the UK as a visitor does not allow you to switch your visa to a work visa. You are here on a tourism. You are here to visit friends and family, go on a sightseeing, visit all the places of attractions in the UK and go back home. And there are other people stated here who are not allowed. You might read up that. Okay, so do not think that when you come here on a visitor visa, it is allowed for you to disappear. You're gonna suffer it. I must tell you, it is a hard thing to come. It is so difficult to come around. Yeah, because a lot is required for you to get a job in this country and become happy, start living like every other person who is, legal in the UK. So definitely, just like it is stipulated here, you are expected to go back to your country at the expiration of your visa, which is 6 months. Some people leave before their visa expires. Depending on what brought you to this country, you're not even expected to stay for 5 months before going. If you are here on Omogo, fantastic. You can stay for 5 months and half and go back. But if you're here on a short visit of seeing your family, 1 month, few weeks, you go back, so that by the time you apply again, they should be able to give you another visa to come into the UK. And if you want to come into work, you can apply, you get the visa. Just like it is stated here that you are expected to leave the UK at the expiration of your visa and then apply from your home country to come in and work in the UK. Do not make that mistake of running to the UK on a visitor visa, and by the time your visit visa expires, you throw it away and then disappears into the streets. Definitely it would be a hard lifestyle for you to start, because no landlord, it is difficult to find somebody who would give you a house, you know, without all this DBS check, without you providing your history of where you have lived in the past, without you having a bank statement who is going to give you a house. Because most of us here, yes, I think I hardly see people that pay their rent by cash. You pay through bank account, you know. A lot of things here are done through online direct debit. You need to have all these things before you can get a home or a house where you'll be staying. So do not make a mistake of making yourself a vagabond in a foreign land. It will be so difficult running around for police all the time, you know. So please, I think I've been able to clear this to a lot of you who have been asking me this question, who have been dreaming of leaving their home country to come to UK on a visit visa and then disappears into thin air. That is not possible. Please don't suffer yourself when there is no need for you to suffer yourself. Thank you so much for your time. I sincerely appreciate. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, and keep coming for more.